Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Starlight Beacon Transmissions Live. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am your host. And as always, this is our live show, our weekly live show. Uh, going to be a kind of a short one tonight, as well. There's a few things to talk about, but not a lot to talk about. Plus, I gotta save my voice for a big thing that I'm doing tomorrow. Which I'll get to that announcement here in just a second. Excuse me, real quick here. So tonight, we're mostly going to talk Vigima games, as we are now deep into Summer Game Fest, and we are going to talk about some of the stuff that was unveiled on Thursday at Summer Game Fest, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the Xbox Bethesda showcase that's tomorrow. That's also going to be followed by the Starfield Direct, and we might preview some of the Ubisoft Forward that will be on Monday, but we also have a couple of pieces of Star Wars news for you as well, and we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, just a couple of announcements. Once again, no live show next week, as we are going to be at AwesomeCon. Yes, we are at AwesomeCon in DC. And so excited for that. Once again, our panel is Saturday, the 17th. That's actually next week, 1 week from now. And that's going to be at 12:15 p.m. Till 1 p.m. And we are going to be talking about the High Republic. You can join myself, Bria Lavorgna, my friend Liz, Brooke, who is a cosplayer in the High Republic community and also just um, cosplayer in general. And then it's going to be Justina Ireland is also going to be there as well. And we are just going to celebrate the High Republic and just goof off and just celebrate everything about that. So get ready for that. And then there will be no live show on July 8th either, as I'm going to be at shore leave in Hunt Valley, Maryland. So you're going to have to just get ready for that. And then there will possibly be no live show the week after that, as I'm going to be out of town taking care of some personal things. So all of that we get to look forward to. Let's get into some of the news here. One thing here is we have an official release date for Ahsoka. The premiere date is August 23rd. So get ready for that. And they gave us a little bit more of a teaser trailer to go along with it. We here are excited for the show. Can't wait to see how it is. Can't wait to see where it goes. So we'll do a few recaps for that, and we'll just go from there. And then another thing, High Republic news wise, we did get the announcement for the yet to be revealed project that we saw announced, not announced at Celebration. Charles Soule is writing a 4-issue mini series called Shadows of Starlight, and that is actually going to take place in the year gap between phase 1 and phase 3. So it's going to be right after Starlight Beacon Falls, leading up to the events of phase 3. So we can get ready for that very soon. And looks like we may or may not see what happened to Buryaga. Maybe. Who knows? Hopefully he's okay. Like I said, next week I'm going to spend 45 minutes just asking Justina Ireland if Buryaga's okay. And yeah, so that's it pretty much for the news this week. Not, like I said, not a lot of news Star Wars wise. It's been a pretty quiet week, but I have a feeling we're gonna get something big soon. I really have a feeling we're gonna get something big here soon. I mean, the Ahsoka release date is pretty big, and of course, the Shadows of Starlight miniseries is pretty big too. But We didn't get a lot of overwhelming Star Wars news this week, and that's okay. That's okay. It's nice to have these quiet weeks. So let's get into our main stuff here. We're actually going to be talking Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Bethesda showcase, as well as a little bit of the Ubisoft Direct or Ubisoft Forward on Monday. And let's see here. So, Summer Game Fest 2023 kicked off on Thursday with a live stream from the YouTube theater. And the Summer Game Fest is Jeff Keighley's big thing that he does every summer. And, you know, there's some, it's usually pretty good. And then sometimes it's hit or miss. And I'm going to tell you right now, this year it was pretty uneven. There was some stuff that was announced that I was pretty intrigued with, but then the rest of it I just was not I wasn't happy with it, you know? I felt like the show wasn't that good. Some of the stuff, like I said, was announced I was really happy with, but a lot of the stuff that they did, I just said, "Oh, okay, can we move on here?" I'm gonna go through the announcements and then I'm gonna just share a few more thoughts on this. So, one of the big announcements here was we're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is going to be the end to the Final Fantasy VII trilogy or Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. And it's going to be in 2024. And it's going to be on 2 discs. So if you are a PlayStation 5 owner and you're a Final Fantasy VII fan and you need this to complete your collection, well, guess what? You're in luck because you get 2 more discs for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And honestly, this was at the end of the show, and I really felt like this should have been saved for Gamescom, honestly, because you've got Final Fantasy 16 in just a few days, and Square Enix is trying to get a lot of hype around that, but for them to showcase this at the end of Summer Game Fest, this actually kind of takes some wind out of their sails when it comes to Final Fantasy 16 because now more people are going to be focusing on Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth instead of Final Fantasy 16. And these will be on PlayStation 5. Sticking to PlayStation 5, Insomniac Games announces Spider Man 2 finally has a release date. It's October 20th, 2023. A few of us were thinking that this was probably going to be in the November or December window for Sony as like a big holiday title to carry the holidays for them. But an October release, one of the villains in this game is Venom. October's spooky season, so yeah, I can see them leaning into the whole kind of horror villain that is Venom because, Venom is kind of horror related if you look at it. So it's October 20th, 2023. And once again, you will be able to play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Speaking of Spider Man, just real quick, we are going to see Spider Man after the show tonight. So I'm excited to see Across the Spider Verse. Spider Verse was one of my favorite all time uh, comic book events. I really, really enjoy that event, especially the stuff that tied in with Superior Spider-Man as well. And honestly, seeing this movie tonight, it's going to want me to. I'm going to want to look for Spider-Man books at AwesomeCon next weekend, probably, so I can, kind of fatten that collection up. It would only be omnibuses and trade paperbacks. I'm not looking for individual issues. I'm just saying. And, some vendors at AwesomeCon mark their omnibuses down quite significantly. So just saying. And some do mark them up quite significantly too. um, But let's go into more of the games here, and then we'll get back into some comic stuff maybe. Prince of Persia. Ubisoft has announced Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown coming next year. This is actually a 2D, 2.5D side scroller from Ubisoft, and this takes place in the Prince of Persia universe. But you don't play as the title character. You actually play as a member of his guard, which I think is really interesting and looks like a lot of fun. And I'm excited to see that. If you're a fan of Mortal Kombat 1 is coming in September, and there was some gameplay unveiled, and it looks fine. I'm not the biggest Mortal Kombat fan. I've played it. I'll watch the movies and stuff, but it's one of those series that, I mean, it's been around, almost as long as I've been alive. I mean, I've been alive 6 years longer than that franchise has been around. But it was a childhood staple, and to see it still thriving today, really cool. So you can look at a September release for Mortal Kombat 1. Oh boy, if you're a Fortnite fan, here we go. They teased, or they revealed Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3. It's called The Wilds, and apparently you can now get an Optimus Prime skin in Fortnite. That's all I'm going to say about that. I am not the biggest Fortnite fan. I am actually not a fan of the game at all. I've tried playing it a couple of times with some friends, and honestly, I don't see the appeal to this game. If you do play this and you love this game, that's awesome. I'm not going to judge you, but honestly, I just don't see the appeal for it. But that's just me. So yeah, Fortnite. Um, this next announcement was actually a real surprise to me. We are getting a new 2D Sonic game called Sonic Superstars, which I'm actually really excited for. I loved Sonic Mania. I thought that that was a very fun game, and it's just really nice to see that Sonic is going to be coming back to the 2D side-scrolling adventure. Similar to it kind of looks like how they did Super Mario 3D World, where it was side-scrolling but with updated graphics, and it just looks really cool. Um, this next one here, I am super excited about. If you are a fan of Halloween season, spoopy stuff, this is the game for you. Alan Wake 2 is coming out October 17th, and so excited for this. We got some gameplay footage here, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And in fact, this game is going to have two playable characters in it. Of course, you're going to be playing as Alan Wake, but you're going to be playing as an FBI agent named Saga Anderson. And really, really just, I can't wait for this game. I love the first game. The first Alan Wake was just such a beautiful game. Great story. Kind of reminded me of like Twin Peaks. Um, also, Gravity Falls, which is inspired by Twin Peaks and these other things. And just like I said, so good. And I really enjoyed Control as well. Control actually ties into the whole Alan Wake universe, and this one doesn't tie into Alan Wake, but Quantum Break from Remedy. All of these games are from Remedy Entertainment, and they're just fantastic games. If you have not played Control, please do so. If you have not played Alan Wake, please do so. I don't really suggest the American Nightmare spin-off. I would just stick to the original game, play it, enjoy it, and then get ready for Alan Wake 2. I'm not a big fan of horror games, but I will play Alan Wake because I just like the whole concept for it. And I will be playing this during spooky season probably when this comes out. So get ready for that. If you're a fan of the Like a Dragon series, which is kind of a Yakuza, it's a Yakuza spin-off series. We're getting a new one there called Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. So excited for that if you're a Like a Dragon fan. I played the first Yakuza Like a Dragon and thought it was actually a lot of fun. It was a little silly, but I enjoyed it, and I also really enjoyed the turn-based combat too. Star Trek Infinite announced. That's coming from Paradox. Okay. Um, this next project, I I saw the trailer for this, and had John Carpenter's name not been on this game, I wouldn't have known that John Carpenter was involved. It's called Toxic Commando, and it's another undead shooter. That's all I'm gonna say. This next one that was unveiled, I'm actually really excited for this one, and I think that this will actually be kind of cool to play. So Akira Toriyama, known for Dragon Ball, which is one of the greatest animes and mangas of all time, is partnered with Bandai Namco to create a new game called Sandland. And this is actually based on a one issue manga that Akira Toriyama wrote and drew back in the early 2000s. So I'm actually really excited for Sandland. It's going to have martial arts combat as well as giant vehicle combat. So you can't go wrong with that. This next one, if you're a Pokemon fan, this next one's going to piss you off. This is called Pal World. It's Pokemon with guns. Yeah, yeah. Just look up Pal World and you'll see. There are some character designs that look exactly like Pokemon, and that's all I'm gonna say there. This next one here, I'm actually really excited for this. Uh, let's face it, Lord of the Rings Gollum did not do well. It did not review well. But maybe we can get a different Lord of the Rings game that might actually do well and play well and review well. Coming this fall, we get Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, and this is a survival crafting adventure in the fourth age of Middle Earth, and it deals with dwarves. And how can you not love that? And they brought back John Rhys Davies to do the voice of Gimli in the game as well, so that should be a lot of fun. That's coming this fall. And I'm actually looking forward to playing this because I am a Lord of the Rings fan. I had no interest in Gollum whatsoever because I just thought that it did not look that great. And this is not a knock against the hardworking developers that did develop that game. It's just the way that I felt. If you're a fan of mobile games and Final Fantasy VII, there's another Final Fantasy VII game coming out to mobile called Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say there. Honestly, I'm not a big mobile gamer, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I think Final Fantasy VII is highly overrated anymore. I think that, don't get me wrong, it's an enjoyable story, but I think it's very overrated and very overhyped. And that's just how I feel there. Now we're getting into some other games here. Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. This is a Monster Hunter ghost hunting video game that looks like a bunch of other video games that are about to come out, honestly. A lot of these games look exactly the same. I'm sorry, but a lot of them do. Um, this looks okay. Baldur's Gate 3, which is a Dungeons and Dragons game, introduces Jason Isaacs as a major villain. That's cool. I mean, I think that's cool. We got a clip of the Twisted Metal series that's going to debut on Peacock in July, which Anthony Mackie's playing the main character. Nah, okay. The clip wasn't that great. Um, it had Anthony Mackie's character singing the thong song for some reason. Um, yeah, I just whatever. If you're a fan of Marvel Snap, that mobile card game is getting a competitive mode called Conquest Mode. We got a first look at season 4 of Modern Warfare 2. Is it just me, or are we all done with Call of Duty now? Maybe it's just me. Path of Exile 2 is coming soonish. If you're a fan of dinosaurs and Street Fighter, Street Fighter is crossing over. Street Fighter 6 is crossing over with a new Capcom game called Exo Primal. Okay, cool. Um, you know, if you're a fan of Pinocchio and Dark Souls, you can play a demo of Lies of P, which is Dark Souls with Pinocchio. Honestly, I, I will not be playing this game. I, just not my thing. If you're a fan of The Witcher, season 3 was teased, and there was a trailer. Warhammer fans, Space Marine 2, we got a co-op trailer for, and that will be it's supposed to release winter this year. If you're a fan of more ridiculous products being placed into video games, or more ridiculous things being placed into video games, you can now get a Nicolas Cage skin in Dead by Daylight on July 25th. Yeah, Nicolas Cage is coming to Dead by Daylight. Okay, cool. As far as indie games go, there's a new indie game called Yes Your Grace Snowfall that's coming out. Apparently, this is a sequel to Yes Your Grace, and it actually looks pretty charming and wonderful. If you're looking for more Monster Hunter stuff, there's a game called Witchfire coming out, and okay, cool. If you're looking for more Souls-like games that are also shooters, there's Remnant 2. Immortals of Avium is coming in July, which is a magic shooter that's being done by EA. This next one here really actually surprised me. This is from Parallel Studios. It's called Under the Waves, and it's a submarine game and scuba diving game. Fans of Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail is a new game that's coming out. Bless you, I guess. Black Desert online expansion. It's called The Land of the Morning Light. It's coming June 14th. Let's see here. If you're a fan of slice of life games, Fae Farm is coming. It's similar to like um, Animal Crossing and other games. So there is that. Let me see here. Let's see. There's another MMORPG that's coming called Throne and Liberty. If you've ever wanted to see adorable animals beat the crap out of each other, such as crocodiles, ducks, firefoxes, and all sorts of fun stuff, there is a game for you coming September 20th called Party Animals. And it actually does look pretty charming and adorable, and I'm actually really excited for that one. And I'll play it, especially if it comes to Game Pass. You can enter to win an Xbox that has Porsche designs. Excuse me. Yes, Xbox is partnering with Porsche to create a couple of Xbox Series X consoles that you can win in a contest. They will not be for sale. So that was that for Summer Game Fest. Like I said, not I mean, there was some stuff that I was really intrigued about, and then most of it just looked the same, and a lot of it just did not catch my interest. Prince of Persia, I'm actually excited for because it's cool to see this 2D side-scrolling Prince of Persia adventure. Um, the Sonic game actually really surprised me too. Sandland surprised me, and I kind of want to play that. I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, but I would play this game because it just looks fun. I am going to be playing Party Animals when it comes out in September, especially if it comes out on Game Pass, because it just looks fun and ridiculous, and why not? You know, it's like Fall Guys and all of those other games. And then I do have to say that Alan Wake 2, I'm really excited about, just because I love the first game so much, and kind of wish that this one was an Xbox exclusive again, like the original was, but I totally understand why they want to put it multi-platform, and it just looks fun, and it's going to be the perfect creepy game to play during spooky season. Hopefully, when it comes to Xbox, hopefully with Redfall, which a lot of people are calling Red Fail because of just the abysmal launch that that game had and how it has so many bugs and everything. Hopefully, they can patch Redfall enough where they can actually make the game pretty playable by Halloween because you're dealing with vampires in that game. You're shooting vampires and all of this other and all these other enemies. Well, yeah, you should definitely put a lot of work and effort into it to make it a game worthy of spooky season. And I think that eventually they will. It's just right now Arcane is doing a lot of damage control with the way Redfall ended up. Um, I've tried playing the game a couple of times now, and because it's on Game Pass, that's the only way I'm playing the game is because it's on Game Pass. And it's I don't think it's that great. I know a lot of people worked very hard on it, but hopefully they can patch it up and get it ready for Halloween season. Speaking of other video games and spooky stuff, Ghostbusters, we're getting a Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition towards the end of the year, or well, later on this year. I think they said the fall or something like that. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed is actually going to be on Nintendo Switch as well. So that means my wife and I can go ghostbusting together on Nintendo Switch, and excited about that. If you haven't played Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, please do yourself a favor and play that game because it's a lot of fun and silly and goofy. Before I get into the Xbox portion of the show, because we're going to talk about the Xbox and Bethesda showcase that's airing tomorrow. Um, just wanted to show something that really cool that my wife ordered on May 4th that just arrived. This is the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi Endor camo hat. Really cool. Um, yeah, and then it's got the 40th logo here, and this is done by Herschel Supply Co. And it's got a lot of tags. You do not need this many tags on a hat. You don't. But I like it. It's a cool hat, and I will be wearing this. Um, yeah, love it. So thank you. Excuse me, real quick here. Like I said, we're having kind of a short show tonight because well, it's just me, and I also have Spider Verse tickets for later tonight, and yeah. So let's get into the Xbox and Bethesda showcase here. That is going to run roughly 2 hours. It's supposed to be about 90 minutes for the Xbox Games Showcase, and then 30 minutes for the Starfield Direct that is going to follow it. They're coining it as a double feature. And so with this Xbox Showcase, we are pretty much going to get the next year to possibly year and a half to 2 years of the roadmap for what Xbox is going to do with their releases and upcoming titles. Um, this is also where we're going to get updates on certain titles as well. Titles that are already out, other titles that are currently in development. And we've also been told that there will be no CGI trailers in the showcase at all. Most of the trailers that we're getting are all gameplay with some in-engine cutscenes, so that'll be pretty cool. And so let's get to some of the stuff that we think that we will actually see during this showcase. I'm not really going to talk about Starfield because let's face it, Starfield's getting its own direct right at the end of the showcase, and Starfield is coming out in September. I am, you know what? I'll just talk about it real quick. I am super excited for this game. I think that it's going to be this epic it's going to be this epic science fiction adventure that only Bethesda can do. And I'm really excited for it. I am a huge fan of science fiction. I'm a huge fan of thinking man science fiction. Like I love Interstellar and Contact and all of those movies. Just those movies that make you think. And of course, I love the mind numbing science fiction as well. Just excuse me real quick here. I got a cough real quick. Sorry, folks. That's why I muted my mic. Um, so Starfield is coming in September. It's September 6th, and that is coming to Game Pass as well on day one. So I will have it pre-downloaded as soon as it is available. I plan on playing that on my Xbox, on my PC, and on the go through cloud. I wish I could take my laptop with me on my vacation that's coming up in September as well, so I can play Starfield on my vacation. But it's a special vacation, and I'm not going to do that. As I get a look. And it is one more thing that I have to lug around. And on a cruise ship, I don't know. Anyway, so let's get into the Xbox thing here. So I think we are going to see Fable, because it's been a while since we got the announcement trailer for it, and we know that they've been hard at work on it. So we're going to see Fable. I think it's probably going to be an early 2024 release. If they do push it to 2023, that's awesome because bring on Fable. But what they need is, well, I'll get to that in a second. I think we're definitely gonna see Fable. Hopefully we will see a Gears of War Marcus Phoenix collection announcement. Even though all of the Marcus Phoenix Gears of War games are available to play on Game Pass, it'd be nice to just to have the collection. And Gears of War is one of those series that's just a lot of fun. It's ridiculous. It's very endearing. But a lot of the stories that they tell with these characters are really just they're great stories, and they're very impactful and a lot of fun. So I think we're going to see Gears of War. Uh, I think we're also going to see Compulsion's next game. They've been working hard on something since We Happy Few came out, so we're going to see what they're working on. We're going to see In Exile's new game probably. I believe it's a first-person shooter role-playing game that they're coming out with. Hopefully, we will see Everwild from Rare, which is being done partly by which is being done by some of the people that worked on Sea of Thieves, which is still going 5 years later. Very strong. Sea of Thieves was actually is a very fun game. when people aren't trying to sink your ship when you're just trying to go fishing. That's just me and some of the experiences I've been through. For those of you wondering about Halo, we could possibly see the announcement for the Halo Battle Royale that's been rumored to be happening. Honestly, I think the last thing Halo needs is a Battle Royale because that just doesn't work for that franchise. And not everything needs to be a battle royale. Like I said, I can't stand Fortnite. The only battle royale that I really play is Apex Legends, and I barely play that. So it's just I'm tired of seeing battle royales. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see here. What else? Oh, we should be seeing stuff from Obsidian, so we are probably going to see Avowed from Obsidian, which is going to be which is a fantasy RPG, I guess, to really kind of quench your thirst until we get Elder Scrolls 6, which is still a ways away because Bethesda's finishing up Starfield right now, and then they're going to go into deep production on Elder Scrolls 6. When it comes to ZeniMax Online, apparently they're supposed to be showing their brand new MMO as well as giving updates to ESO. So we'll see what they do here. Maybe ZeniMax will give us a brand new IP that we don't know about that's going to be an MMO, and we can actually like experience a new world together that is new and original. So we'll see. When it comes to id Software, which is another Bethesda studio, we have we know that we know they're working on something. Hopefully, I would love to see them do another Doom game because it's been a few years since Doom Eternal shipped. But we have a feeling like they might be working on a new Quake title, which I think would be pretty interesting. Maybe it's a Quake remake, maybe it's a brand new Quake title, but we'll see. And then when it comes to Arcane, they're doing damage control on Redfall right now. So if we got anything from them, it will probably be a roadmap of content updates for Redfall. And then when it comes to Machine Games, which is the last Bethesda studio I'll talk about, um, they're working on Indiana Jones. And I think it's time to show that game. Because let's face it, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny comes out at the end of the month. What better way to get more hype for that movie than to show off gameplay for Indiana Jones for this Indiana Jones game? I mean, I think it would be absolutely amazing if they just shadow dropped it on Game Pass that day and was just like, hey, guess what? Now you can play an Indiana Jones game before you go see the Indiana Jones movie, but I doubt that's going to happen. I still think it's about a year away. um, let me see here. There's going to be a lot tomorrow. We are going to get I believe we're also going to get a solid release date for Forza Motorsport, which is one of the best racers. Actually, it is the best racer on the market. And such a great racing franchise. If you have not played Forza, please do so, especially the Forza Horizon series, because they are they're great games and they're a lot of fun. I'm blanking on a few other things, and that's fine. I'm really just hoping that we get surprised tomorrow, and I really hope that Xbox brings it because I'm going to tell you right now, Sony's showcase was not that strong, and Summer Game Fest here was not that great. So Xbox is in a very good position to win these presentations, but they've got to get games out. They've got to. That's their big thing right now. And I've been talking about to a few of my friends. Microsoft needs a big holiday AAA game that's going to bring players in and sell Xbox consoles. And a lot of people are saying, well, Hellblade 2 is going to be It's going to have a late 2023 release. While Hellblade 2 looks fantastic, I'm not into those types of games, so I'm personally not going to play it. And if they do release it later this year, awesome. That's great that they were able to get it out, and it'll probably do well. But the thing is, it's not going to sell Xboxes. You need something that's going to carry the brand for the holiday season. Starfield can do it, especially if they nail it, and I think they will. I think they will nail Starfield. I think it's going to hit in the right time. And yeah, it'll carry console sales. It will, because I've talked to a lot of people that have said, "Yeah, I'll buy a console for Starfield, especially if it's as good as we think it's going to be." So you have to look at all of those factors when it comes into all of this. They need a big AAA title for the fall, and they're getting it. They're probably going to have two because of Forza Motorsport. But you need a holiday title. Whether that's whatever game Compulsion's working on, whether that's, I mean, it could be anything. They could definitely shadow drop something during the holiday season. And we don't know. We don't know. But it's very, very up in the air. So, um, we'll see. So tomorrow, I'm going to be joining John and Joey on OTN Media's Twitch channel. I'm going to be helping them with coverage of the Xbox Game Showcase and the Starfield Direct. So just you know, join us for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Our pre-show is going to be at 12:30. Then we're going to co-stream the um, the live show and the direct, and then we're going to wrap it up with about a half hour post show at the end. So get ready for an afternoon of gaming goodness, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, and then I get to chill out before we go to AwesomeCon next week. And I'm really excited about going to AwesomeCon because it's one of my favorite conventions. It's absolutely tons of fun, and we are going to be meeting Ashley Eckstein, James Arnold Taylor, and Matt Lanter next weekend, as possibility of Maurice LaMarche as well. Pinky the Brain from Pinky and the Brain. And we're gonna meet Pinky too again, which I love Rob Paulson. He was so much fun. Um, Tons of people. I may even meet Sean Astin. Who knows? Uh, I don't know yet. There is also a Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering pre-release event that's going on at AwesomeCon that I'm still on the fence about doing. It is expensive. It's about $60, but you do get to play in a pre-release event, and you get Lord of the Rings cards a few days before they're even supposed to come out, which is really cool. So I'm still debating it. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. Who knows? All I know is Saturday's the long day for me, and that's my panel day. So, and that's usually the day where we just panel hop anyway, because the show floor on that Saturday of AwesomeCon is so crowded because everybody just swoops in for that day. And it's fine, that's fine. If people can only go the one day and they want to go that day, that's fine. I'm not here to judge. And we're going to meet LeVar Burton, Geordie LaForge, for you Star Trek fans. I loved him as Geordie LaForge, honestly. I think he's, as much as I'm not a fan of Star Trek The Next Generation, I do enjoy Geordie LaForge's character. I really would have liked to have seen him work with Miles O'Brien on Deep Space Nine. But that's just me. And that's all I've got, really. Like I said, short show this week. We're gonna go see Spider Verse soon, so excited about that. And yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Until then, may the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic. Later.